So Dad, Grandpa, whatever you know him as, you know that he is the king of dadisms, right? Like he has his little words that he says and his little sayings that he says. So some of my favorite sayings and favorite memories are, and let me know if you've ever heard any of these, right? Let's see. Don't make me turn this car around, right? Don't make me stop this car. And while we'd be driving down to Monette, right? Dad would be driving. He has a cigarette in one hand that some of you didn't even know that he smoked. He's driving in one hand, and he's trying to like slap us in the back. Don't make me turn this car around. Don't make me turn around in this car, right? Like he'd always say that. I'm not sleeping. I'm just resting my eyes. Anybody ever heard him say that before?
I bought him socks saying that.
Wish in one hand and spit in another, and see which one fills up the fastest. Yeah, I know. We were talking. He goes, Dad says, yeah. He goes, I cleaned that up a little bit, for you guys when you were young. It was another SH word, right? Let's see. So, he always had. Oh, this is the classic. It'll feel better once it stops hurting, right? You'd always say that. Dad has never worn, he's also like the king of what I call the hillbilly words, right? Like the old time words. So Dad's never worn a pair of pants or a pair of jeans in his life, right? He wears his breeches, right? Dad has his breeches. Also, he's never put his milk in a refrigerator in his life, right?
In the icebox.
He's in the icebox. In the icebox. So my kids were always like, I don't think Justin knew what the icebox was refrigerator.
It's always called the icebox,
yeah.
but I always forgot what
Never
it was.
knew what that was. We did not have a couch or a sofa, did we? We had a divan. We were fancy. We were like French. We had a divan, but nobody else knew it. Did you have a divan? We had a divan. We didn't have a couch or a sofa. His cuss words were dadgummit, dadgummit, or shucky dern, right? Shucky dern. And then he'd say things also like, that was pert near something else. And my dad was telling me the other day, he said he was in the Army before he realized that pert near was not just one word. There was more than one word. It's pretty near. But I think one of the things that we'd always have friends over, to our house, and our friends loved Dad, right? So there was one thing that he'd always do when our friends came over, and that would say, and he'd tell people that his car was different than other cars, because he'd be driving us around, right, when we're young. And he said, most people's cars, like the F means full, and the E means empty, right? And he'd say, but our cars are different. In our car, F means fill her up, and E means enough. And Dana and Gail Lehan, every single time, like that would get them. Do you remember that time?
Because they lived in the boondocks.
Yeah, we did. We lived in the boondocks. And probably one of my favorite stories. So Dad and Mom, they loved Elvis, right? And we always listened to Elvis growing up. And so there was an Elvis song that was one of their favorites, which is, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And if you know the words to the song, it's wise men say, only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Those are the words to the song. But that's not the words that I heard to the song. So the words that I heard to the song were, wise men stay single their whole life, but I can't help falling in love with you. I was 25 years old before I realized that those were not the words to the song. And I'm in a car, I'm like driving with somebody, and this song comes on and I'm singing it, and they're like, what are you singing? Like, those aren't the words to the song. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the way we always sing that song.
I did.
So we had the most wonderful upbringing. with, our parents, with Dad, and there was so much love. And we were poor. We were so poor. Dad worked 3 jobs, right? I mean, he worked 3 jobs at a time to put food on the table and take care of us. But we never felt poor. We never felt poor because we had so much love in our family, and we are all so grateful.
Thank you, darling. Love you.
I had to write mine down, Dad. My father's mentorship has had a profound impact on my life.
How's that? Better.
One of the things, I always have a love for sports. So when I was watching Mahomes on the Chiefs, and he's like sticking his tongue out, I'm like, my dad did that 80 years ago. Anytime he was doing carpentry or working on the car, you could always see him, with his tongue out. And talking about out, the first time I was driving my car and it ran out of gas, I look at my tank, it says E. I said, I have enough, but I was empty. Dad always told us, fill it up, and E for empty. And long before I started driving, I walked to school. I could never understand when Dad said, I walked 2 miles to school, uphill, both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Dad taught me a lot of things, but the one thing that Dad could never teach me was to drive a stick shift. Those honors go to Aunt Patty.
Went to Aunt Patty. I swear, I don't know how she did it. I couldn't teach her.
Dad also gave me a love for the Royals. I always asked, who's going to win the game? And he said, whoever scores the most points. All I know is that I hit a home run with you for having you as a dad.
Thank you, darling. Love you. It was funny. I could not teach her to drive. It was stick. And I tried. I mean, for months I tried. She couldn't drive that damn car. Oh, Angie's mom came up one time, and I was telling her, I said, I can't. I did everything I can with that girl. And so she said, oh, she think I named Patty. I mean, she wasn't no big driver either, to put it honestly. And I don't know, 15 minutes later, she comes back just driving away, man. I don't know what she do to you, but she sure did it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll keep mine fairly short. I would say my biggest remembrance with Dad too is all these years of baseball. Like we've done a lot with baseball over the years.
Yeah, we did.
From coaching, just playing in the backyard with me. Royals games we've gone to, family trips we've taken with baseball, going up to Cooperstown for the Hall of Fame. And as I think bled through my boys as well, both played baseball through high school and college.
Going on the roof of
Just
Chicago.
a lot of good times we had, around the sport of baseball. And I guess the second thing that really kind of hit me is when Dad had his heart attack when he was like 65, probably. I know at the time it didn't look very good that he was going to make it, and so I really viewed these last 25 years a huge blessing. You've been around, seen all our kids, grow up. We could have easily lost you, at times. We love you, and I hope I'm with Tim. I hope you make another 10. But we love you.
Thank you, Dad. Love you, man. Love you.
Well, I was blessed because I got to be the first baby. And I always have that special time with you that I started taking Wednesdays off work so that on Wednesdays I could come over and spend just some Diana and Daddy time together. It means a lot to me that I just get that special time. Like everybody else has mentioned with the Royals, I remember us going to the Royals games. You got me hooked on baseball, and I love it. So I like whenever I get to come over and visit with you, and we just talk baseball and everything else. So that's wonderful. You've always been there to watch my kids, whether whatever sports they're playing. And it means a lot to me that you are always there for your family. That's the one thing that's just out of everything else I remember. Like with David saying, when you had your heart attack, when we were in the hospital, the only thing I could think of, because David was so far away, I'm like, if Dad can just make it until David gets here, I know everything will be all right, because he's your son and he just means so much to you, and we all do, and we know that. And so I'm so happy you've made it to 90, but I definitely hope that you make it some more, because we'd be lost without you, Papa Bear. I love you.
Thank you, Doris. Love you. Another thing too about Diana and Denise, I can't remember what year it was. It was sometime in the 70s when we had a big flood. And Diana and
1977.
Denise had gone to the baseball game, and they were trying to get home, and the water had washed across Raytown Road, and it washed them and the car off, and they got stuck between a couple of trees, and the fireman had to take a line to go out to get them and bring them. And that's how close we came to losing you, Denise, and I love you guys to death. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think the thing I remember most about Grandpa is just all the times he's been there for me and all the accomplishments I've been, whether it be in schooling, in baseball and tennis. You've been around me 22 years of my life, and I've been so grateful and privileged that you've been able to be with me that entire time. I really appreciate that, and even more recently is we've been a pretty good duo doing puzzles together every year. I mean, since for the past 5-6 years, whenever I came home to visit, we'd always work on a puzzle together. And we were a pretty good duo because I'm not very good at structuring all the pieces together, but he's pretty good at that, getting all the edges together. But I'm pretty good at doing the rest of it because, at least for him, most of the puzzles are a pretty similar color. And like, I'll show him one piece, he'll say, "That's brown." I'll give him another piece, "That's brown." That next one, that's the same thing, "That's the same color, that's brown." So I'm able to help him with the reds and greens on that part. But it's been a lot of fun doing that with you these past years, and I really appreciate you being around, Grandpa.
Thank you, buddy. Love you much. Enjoyed keeping you, taking care of you, and watching you learn to drive and learn to school and tennis and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Glad you were there.
Thank you.
So fortunately, I have taken public speaking, but honestly, that was online, so this is going to be brand new. I'm also doing this while I'm adult. So, Grandpa, I at first just want to say thank you for literally everything for everybody here. Always going to every sporting event, Grandparents' Day. I know every time I played soccer or baseball up at Legacy and Grandpa was there, I was like, man, I want to do something. I want to do very well. Because I always saw you, and I was like, obviously, I want to show everyone my abilities and how well I can do, but I really want to show my grandpa that I can be the best man I can be today and have a great role model to do it. And like ever since going from obviously Royals games and talking to you on the phone, anytime that I can call you and answering it's so great to have you in my life, to be a great role model, to be the man I became today, really. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done for all of us. And I think I can say for most of us that you've always been there and will continue to be there no matter what. Love you, Grandpa.
Thank you, man. I love you so much. I enjoy watching you play those games and do all that time as much as you like me being there. I'll tell you for sure. I love you, man. Thank you.
Grandpa, it feels like it was just, yesterday, what we were having 15 years ago, your over the hill party. I remember that in our basement, that feels like it was just yesterday. But, throughout my time, same as Logan, going through the years, supporting, us through all of our sporting events, through college and everything with me playing baseball, it's been awesome. And I love you so much. And, when both of Justin and I's parents, they traveled a lot. So whenever they were gone, you and Grandma taking care of us, it was awesome. And you guys picking us up from school. And I remember in high school going from St. Mary's to O'Hara, and then whenever at the bus stop down there, it's just down the street in Nativity. You'd always pick me up before I had my license, and I'd drive us back home. So I love you, and let's get another 10 years, huh?
I love you so much. Thank you. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching you as much as I like.
Grandpa, there's very little that I can say that everybody else here hasn't already said. But, a lot of people here, and I'm not going to speak for everybody, but in all honesty, I think everybody's heard at some point a bad story about somebody. I can't say that about you. Everything I've ever heard from anybody, now, before, anything that anybody's ever said has always been something good. He's always here for us. He's always here to take care of us. He's always been taking us to sporting events, going to sporting events. You don't get that from everybody. I see hundreds of people every day, and most of them will tell me that at some point somebody in their family hasn't been there for them. And nobody in this room can say that with you. You've always been here, and honestly, I don't think I could think of even a time or a place that if I called you and said, hey, I need you for something, you wouldn't have shown up immediately. I remember, it's been a couple of years ago, but I saw I had a missed call from you. I was sitting at work. It's like, I wonder what Grandpa's calling me for. And I called you back and, hey, I just want to make sure, I got a phone call that you were in jail. He said, no, Grandpa, I'm definitely at work. Sorry I didn't answer your phone call. Well, I know they called me and they said you needed bail money. And, I've always heard the stories about people calling the grandparents, and I was like, most grandparents, they would have, and I know you probably would have. If I had called you and said, hey, I need bail money, you would have shown up 5 minutes. You would have been there. So we love you. I love you. I seriously, I don't know. I don't know what or where I would be without having you as a grandmother in my life, and I hope that I don't have to find out anytime soon. I love you.
I love you, Tyler. Thank you. Always enjoyed watching you play ball. Thank you, buddy.
I hope I can get you out to come see Theo at some point.
That'll be great.
My name is Sandra. I'm not a member of the family, but I have been treated like part of the family. And I know for a fact that's because of him. And if I say any more, I'm going to cry, so I'm going to sit down. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for the way I've been treated.
Well, my siblings have covered a lot of it. You're everybody's cheerleader. You're our biggest supporter. You taught us how to drive. You taught us how to do almost anything. But I think the one thing that stands out the most for me is that the way you taught us how to be a loving parent. You were such a good example that when I became a parent, I wanted to do like you did. I wanted to be there for my kids all the time. I wanted to support them in whatever they did. And I learned all that from you, Dad. And I love you so much.
Thank you, Dave. Love you, darling. So proud of you.
Love you, darling.
And I love every one of you guys that you accepted me to come in this family. I love your sister very much. I try to do my best every time, every day. And coming out to visit you and watching the baseball games and the football games and the basketball games and our conversations when she goes away are the best. Because I had my father there, used to do that with me. He's not there no more. So when I sit with you and I have this conversation all the time, it's like it brings back the whole family again. I wish you a happy birthday, and I'm hoping you're around here. I don't care. It could be another 20 years. And I'll always come out and visit you. And you know if you ever need anything, that's all you have to do is call. And you know I'll be there.
Thank you, Louie. Appreciate it, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
From the very first day, walked through the front door of the house. I felt like I was a part of the family, first day. And I never felt any other different. Happy birthday.
Happy Thank you.
Well, so living in St. Louis is, and all, I don't get to see you as much as, I'd like to, but every year, the 5 or 6 times I come to see you, I always seem to have a blast, whether it's playing board games at Aunt Denise's house or just chilling in your house and just talking about random things. Time just seems to fly by. And also when I play baseball, just the little texts that you send me after I do good, or even when I do bad, just the little encouragement I get from you, it always makes me feel great. So I just wanted to say how much I appreciate and love you.
Thank you. Love you, man.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you for always treating me like one of your girls.
You are.
And I love you very, very much. Thank you for being an amazing role model for my husband and for my kids and for all of the grandkids, right? This family loves you so much. We're so very, very grateful for you. All of this is because of you. We love you very, very much.
Thank you so much. Love you, Dara. You've been a wonderful daughter-in-law. Just wonderful.
I would say lastly, just, and we'll get into the cake, to have the ability to have your, I remember my great-grandfather. He lived to be 96, my great-grandmother lived to be 88. To have that ability to have Tyler and his family, and Alex and his family here, I wish Stephanie had hers family, because, these young ones, it's hard for them to remember as much. But I remember the fact that when my great-grandfather had his license renewed, it was still in the 1800s, and I got to take the old one and take it to school, and my classmates were like, "Oh my God, he's really old," that type of thing. But to have great-grandkids here as well, that's a really, really big deal. And so they love you, but I want to thank you guys for bringing them here, all right? Because that's a big deal. So anyway, your great-grandpa loves you. All right. So happy birthday. Let's get in some cake.
Thank you, buddy.
Sing happy birthday and have a little bit of fun. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right.
Love you, man.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Hey!